Hello, I'm Zach Johnson and welcome to Football Weekly. So, welcome to Football Weekly. This is my new blog with all the Barclays Premier League fixtures, results, team news, transfer news and even score predictions. So let's crack on with it. So, the English football season is back underway. The Championship games kicked off this weekend and the Barclays Premier League games kick off this coming weekend. There's a whole fixture list over the weekend. 7 games on Saturday, 2 on Sunday and 1 on the Monday night. The first game I'm going to focus on is Blackburn versus Wolves. So Blackburn last season they just survived relegation, as did Wolves, and coincidentally these two teams played each other on the last day, the winner being Wolves, which kept them up, and the defeat for Blackburn also kept them up, which is kind of strange. The key man for Blackburn for me is Chris Samba, the colossal centre-back, who's been into transfer speculation with Arsenal and Spurs throughout the summer. So if they manage to keep hold of him, that would do them a lot of good this season. So the key man for Wolves, Matt Jarvis, the winger, who got his first England cap last season. So with him on the wing and Stephen Fletcher up front, I think possibly quite a few goals from Wolves this season. On the downside perhaps for Blackburn is the fact that they've not really strengthened their team. They've let Phil Jones go and they've only really brought in David Goodwillie from Dundee United, which is a good signing, but if they've just survived relegation they need to strengthen more. Wolves, however, they've strengthened quite a lot throughout the summer. They lost Marcus Hanneman, but they brought in De Vries from Swansea, who's a good keeper, proven in the Championship anyway, unproven as yet in the Prem. Roger Johnson from Birmingham, which is another good signing, showed his class last year for the Blues in their relegation season. So, and they've permanently signed Jamie O'Hara from Spurs, who's on loan with them and came out of his shell a bit. He's been a fringe player at Spurs the past few seasons, so that was good for him. So as a prediction, I'm going to say it's close. I mean, they're both reasonably the same level. So I'm going to go for Blackburn 2, Wolves 1. So the next fixture this Saturday is Fulham versus Aston Villa. As you can see, possibly from this, I'm a Villa fan, although I will not be biased throughout Football Weekly. It's just a note for you there. So, key man for Fulham, I think they missed him dearly last year. Bobby Zamora has just regained his fitness after a leg break. He was on the fringes of an England call-up, I think, and if he can regain the form he had before his leg break, I think possibly a lot of goals from him this year. So the key man for Villa then is another proven goal scorer, another man in the England team, Darren Bent. Great signing in January, kept them from relegation basically. Got about 10 in 16 I think. So yeah, he's guaranteed to get goals. Fulham, under their new manager Martin Jol, brought in 4 players, 3 of which I've never heard of before. Samogi, a keeper, and Gekov and Kasami, 2 young midfielders. And he's also brought in some experience. John Arisa, the ex-Liverpool left-back, left midfielder, which could be a very good signing for them. The Villa, on the other hand, they've let a lot of players go, big names, Carew, Rio Coca, Pires, and they've only brought in Given to replace Friedel and Nzogbia to replace Downing and Young that have left as well. So prediction for this game, I'd say probably a draw for Fulham and Villa. I'm going to go 2-2. So the next game is Liverpool versus Sunderland. Now this game in the past has caused a lot of controversy, especially the beach balls game. You Liverpool fans out there will probably remember that game. Liverpool's key man, I'd say, is Luis Suarez. Blistering form when they brought him in January. Hefty price tag, but a very good player. Key man for Sunderland, they've brought in a lot of players, and I think one of them, John O'Shea, is going to be a big man for them. Never really showed his experience for Man U, but coming to a team like Sunderland where he's going to play week in, week out and be the key man, I think he's going to be a good signing. Yeah, Liverpool have had a good summer transfer-wise. They've acquired Jordan Henderson, Stuart Downing, Charlie Adam, all good signings. And Sunderland, they've brought in, well, basically a whole new team. They've brought in Kieran Westwood, his keeper, Wes Brown and John O'Shea from Man U. They've brought in Craig Gardner and Seb Larson from Birmingham. They've also brought in David Vaughan from Blackpool, Connor Wickham from Ipswich, and Dong Won from China or Korea or something. So I think them new players, they need time to gel, and so for this game I think 3-1 to Liverpool, but I expect Sunderland to build in confidence and form throughout the season, so yeah, good game. The next game is one of the newbies, QPR, at home against Bolton. QPR caught the eye last year in the Championship. They run away with the title. They really were impressive. One man that was outstanding was Adel Tarabt, the young Moroccan playmaker. So, I mean, I think he's come out and said that he wants to leave. But if they manage to keep hold of him, I think that could be the difference between them staying up and going down. The key man for Bolton, their experienced centre forward Kevin Davies, who finally got himself an England cap last season. He's not a prolific striker, but he's big and you play the ball off him and that. So yeah, good player. QPR, as you'd expect with a promoted side, have strengthened. They've gone for experience rather than numbers. Kieran Dyer and Danny Gavidon from relegated West Ham, Jay Bothroyd from Cardiff, and DJ Campbell from Blackpool. All good signings, especially the two strikers, Bothroyd and Campbell. They've got goals in them, and they just need some Tarabt to set them up for them. And yeah, Bolton, they've brought in a few, mainly the midfield. Darren Pratley from Swansea scored a screamer in the playoff semi-final, I think it was, from the halfway line or something. Chris Eagles from Burnley, along with his teammate Tyrone Mears, the right back, ex-Derby player, and Nigel Reo-Coker on a free from Villa. So yeah, good signings. But, I think this game has got draw written all over it. I think QPR might catch some people out. They might not be expecting how they play, and Bolton never really that impressive with me. They're sort of a mediocre team, so I reckon 1-1. The next game on Saturday is Tottenham versus Everton. Now, these teams are always quite close in the table. similar play, reasonably similar quality players. Tottenham's standout man, Rafael van der Vaart. I mean, Redknapp caught a lot of people out, surprised them when he acquired him from Real Madrid, and he's a very good player. I mean, he's everywhere. He's good at passing the ball. He's got a good shot. He scores quite a few as well. He's the playmaker. Play him in the hole. So yeah, key player. The key player for Everton for me is a similar player to Van der Vaart. I think Mikel Arteta. Once linked with an England cap, I think, because he'd been in the country for 5 years, but that never went through. But yeah, he's a very good player. He passes the ball very well. He takes some free kicks, and they're good. So yeah, battle of the playmakers in this game, I think. Spurs, they've not strengthened. They've let a few go, bits of deadwood, I suppose, Harry Redknapp would say. Woodgate's gone, O'Hara, but he's brought in Brad Friedel to compete with Gomez between the sticks. Gomez was a little bit dodgy at times last year, shall we say. Everton, on the other hand, haven't strengthened at all compared to Spurs a little bit. They've brought in young defender Eric Dier, I think it is, on loan from Sporting Lisbon. He was there last year, but he never played, so maybe, I don't know, David Moyes must see something in him, I suppose. This game, as I said, tight, they're quite evenly matched, but I'm going to go for Spurs to just nick it 2-1. Another one of the newbies in action on Saturday is Norwich. They're away at Wigan. Wigan, another team that just survived last season on the last day. And actually, I've gone for the man that kept them up, his goal, as their key man, Hugo Rodallega. Very good striker. Scored some good goals. I mean, and important goals, like the one that kept them up against Stoke on the last day. Yeah, I think he needs perhaps someone in to provide him with goals. Last year it was Nzogbia and Cleverley, and they've both gone. But on his day, yeah, very good striker. My key man for Norwich is another striker, Grant Holt, the experienced forward, shall we say. A lot of goals last year, but wait and see if he makes a step up to the Prem. Wigan, they've brought in 2 players in the summer. They've signed David Jones from Wolves to replace Nzogbia, perhaps, and Ali El Habsi on a permanent deal, which is good for them because he was good keeper last year who was on loan there. Norwich, like I was saying about QPR, you need to strengthen. They have. They've brought in 2 players on loan from Premier League teams, Delight from Man U and Norton from Spurs, a bit of youth. They brought in 2 midfielders, Johnson from Leeds and Bennett from Brighton. Again, quite youthful and good in Championship and League One. And like Holt, see if they make the step up. And they brought in 3 strikers, Pilkington from Huddersfield, Vaughan from Everton, and Morrison from Millwall. Vaughan at Everton didn't really get a chance, I don't think, so this could be a good move for him. Pilkington, he was one of the stars of League One last year, and Morrison, one of the stars of the Championship, so definitely strengthened, yeah. Prediction, I don't know, close, I reckon a draw perhaps. I'm going to go for 2-2.